I initially went to, because I'm from Germany originally, and I went to the German Lutheran Church, and then felt that I wanted to really put down roots in London. And what's so great about London is that it's got people from all over the world, and I didn't want to just stay in my own little expat community. And so I was looking for whether there was an English-speaking Lutheran congregation, and that's how I ended up at St. Anne's.
It's very welcoming. Even when I disappeared for like 10 years, I came back and it was like nothing has changed. It's family.
It's a very lively, very engaged church. It's not a place where you go to and something happens in front of you or to you. It's all hands on deck. It's very joyful. Everybody is involved, and it feels very much like a family. You feel at home almost immediately.
I really enjoy it here. I feel very loved and appreciated here. And I'm able to also serve God in my own way at this church. So I value and I appreciate that.
And the ministers have been really good. They have been supportive and very friendly. I think it's the friendliness more than anything else. And of course, it's nice meeting God here.
It has a certain number of members who are here as visitors, who may be here as students, and who may pass through London on business or on pleasure. And in that sense, we have a kind of floating congregation that comes and goes from the church.
I think it's quite refreshing because we get lots of different ideas coming in that I don't just stay with, well, this is the way we did it in Australia, that there are other ways to worship, other hymns that I find familiar, that someone else will say, oh, that's not something from my tradition. So I love that whole mixing pot of different ideas, that we're all Lutheran, we're all Christian, but we can practice in different ways.
I hadn't really been involved in the church that much, but my time in the LCIGB actually encouraged me to reconnect with my faith when I moved back to the United States. So I joined the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, the ELCA. I joined a congregation there when I moved back to Virginia, where I live now. And a couple years later, I actually enrolled in seminary. So I am a seminary student now, and it was really my time here at St. Anne's and my process of being confirmed in the LCIGB that sort of inspired in me, encouraged in me it refined that sense of call. I met, the living Christ here in this community with these people, and that was something that I hadn't had before, and so that was something that I took with me and I still take with me. So I bring a little St. Anne's everywhere I go, which is really special.
I think the Lutheran Church in Great Britain has a lot to offer to people who think of the church as a stuffy institution that's a big part of the establishment. One of the things I really love about the Lutheran Church in Great Britain is that it's a poor church and it's a small church. So it's the people who make it. It's not an institution that's there, it is the people who are that church. And I think that's a real gift, and to live that out in a visible way, that's for me what the Lutheran Church in Great Britain has to offer.
But beyond that, we have such good relationships with the other Lutheran churches here, the Finnish, the Swedish, the German, the Norwegian, and they would bring us into their, some of their celebrations. And it really felt like you were connected to this very global movement. So you had your family, and then you were part of the whole extended family.
But I also think it's important that the Lutheran Church also encourages people to, if they don't live close enough to a Lutheran church, to worship in their local communities as well, maybe in an Anglican church that we're involved with the Paul Vu relationship. I think it's to provide a familiar home and family for us to feel comfortable here when we're far away from our homes and families.